Hello and good evening to all of you. Welcome to HitBullsEye. My name is Manish Mittal and I'm back with your daily dose of current affairs for 25th of January 2022. So we have been doing this news session every day for more than 2 months now, and we are getting such an overwhelming response from all of you that some students have even told me that they are finding it so fruitful that they are making notes from these videos, which is what is advisable as well. If you are preparing for any competitive exam, then try to make notes, very brief notes of the news that we are covering, because the ultimate purpose of making such a small or short video is to keep it as simple and as clutter free as possible. So if you want to note down these particular news items, try not to use more than 2 lines of your notebook. Every news should be covered within 1 or 2 lines because that is the crux of it. So it's like that small investment that you make in your time and in your effort every day that leads to, you know, exponentially higher returns over a period of time. So if you watch these videos over 2 months, over 3 months, you will be acquainted with hundreds of facts, in fact, thousands of facts and information that will be quite relevant for your exam. Let us see those 5 news that we are going to cover today. First, since today is 25th of January, one day prior to the Republic Day of India. So on this day, Pradhan Mantri Rashtriya Bal Puraskar are given away. So we'll see what are Pradhan Mantri Rashtriya Bal Puraskar, what is the amount that is given to all the winners, and what are all the categories in which Rashtriya Bal Puraskar is awarded. Secondly, yesterday was celebrated as the National Girl Child Day. So we'll try to have a look at that. The situation of women in India in general, and specifically for the girl child, and what the government of India has done in terms of schemes and programs to increase the proportion as well as the condition of girl child in India. Next is a very positive news coming from our not so positive neighbor, that is Pakistan. So Pakistan has appointed its first woman justice in the Supreme Court of Pakistan, and her name is Aisha Malik. So we'll see about that. Then Swiggy. So we have been talking about unicorns every now and then, that India has added 34 unicorns in the last year, which is a billion-dollar company is basically called a unicorn. The Swiggy has become the first company to be a Decacon. So among the new startups, it has become the first company that has crossed the valuation of $10 billion, thereby earning itself the title of a Decacon. And finally, in the 9th Women National Ice Hockey Championship 2022, Ladakh team has taken the honors. Let's have a detailed look at all these news one by one. The first is Pradhan Mantri Rashtriya Bal Puraskar 2022. So as the name itself is suggestive, it is a Bal Puraskar. So it is given to children, and it has been given to 29 children for this particular year, in which 15 were boys and 14 were girls, which belong to 21 states and UTs. So that basically tells us the proportion of men and women is almost equal, and it represents a wide array of states and union territories of India. So it's not that some particular state or UT has been overrepresented, or that children have been chosen from disproportionately from a particular state or UT. That is not the case. So this Pradhan Mantri Rashtriya Bal Puraskar is given by the government of India to the children who have exceptional abilities and outstanding accomplishments in 6 different categories. We'll see which those categories are. And it carries a cash award of 1 lakh rupees. In fact, the Prime Minister himself talked over the phone with some of these winners. So there are 6 categories in which Pradhan Mantri Rashtriya Bal Puraskar is given. One is the field of innovation. So if any child has done something innovative, it could be in the field of science, it could be in the field of social science, or it could be in the field of environment and ecology. So that child is awarded in the category of innovation. And it is really interesting now, due to paucity of time and due to not sounding overly preachy and not to stretch the session, I have not included the details of all the winners. But if you are curious, you can see what those children may have innovated that, made them receive this prestigious prize. So you can Google and search the innovations, or you can see the achievements of all those awardees. What have those children done that have made them deserve such a high award? Then social service. Now, this is a criteria that none of us thinks seriously, but there are children who are getting Prime Minister's Award for social service. So that is the beauty of it. And usually the question that is asked from this particular area is, in multiple choice questions, you may get asked that which of these following fields is not a field for which Pradhan Mantri Rashtriya Bal Puraskar is awarded. That means you should be acquainted with all these 6 criteria, and then you should be able to, pick the odd one out. So we may not, if we have not read this, we may not believe that children can be given awards in social service category, because we tend to believe that only aged people or senior citizens are perhaps capable of carrying out social service. But it turns out that children do get award for social service. Then scholastic children, children who have done something phenomenal in any sports, art and culture. And finally, the one we can most relate with is the bravery award, the Prime Minister's Rashtriya Bal Puraskar for Sahas or bravery, which is given to children who have done some exceptional, you can say, effort or task which exemplifies their bravery. So these are the 6 categories, very important from exam point of view. Next, the National Girl Child Day is celebrated on 24th of January every year, which is, you can say, yesterday. So the objective is to provide support and opportunities to the girls of India. So let's have a look at some facts about this. So of course, the purpose is to promote awareness about the rights of the girl child and to increase awareness of girl education, healthcare, and nutrition. So these are the 3 areas that make any person as the agent of change: education, healthcare, nutrition, etc. So the purpose of these 3 things is to empower women in the real sense of the term. And it is with this objective that this day was declared in 2008. So we are celebrating this day since 2008. And the nodal ministry is the Ministry of Women and Child Development. There are various steps that the government has taken. Now we are particularly talking about the central government. Various state governments have taken steps at their own level to promote the children, girl child, basically. So Save the Girl Child campaign, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao Abhiyan, Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana, which is particularly financial empowerment, then CBSE Udan scheme, free or subsidized education for girl child, especially the single girl child. In many states are provided totally free of cost education till their graduation. Then there is reservation for women in various colleges and universities, and the national scheme for incentive to girls for secondary education. There are so many schemes that are running for the education, healthcare, and empowerment of women. So somehow related to the last news, which is unintentional though, is the news of Miss Aisha Malik. So which is a historic moment. She has become the first judge of the Supreme Court of Pakistan. In India, the first woman judge of Supreme Court was back in 1989. So it seems Pakistan is more than 3 decades lacking the growth of India or women's representation in institutions of importance. So if we see about Ms. Aisha Malik, the Supreme Court was established in 1956 in Pakistan, but it took more than 6 decades for Pakistan to see a woman judge on the highest bench. So the Supreme Court in India was established in 1950, as we know it today. Otherwise, the Supreme Court was established in 1773. But the Supreme Court, as we know it today, was established in 1950 after the Constitution came into force. And the first female judge, that is Justice Fatima Bibi in India, was appointed in 1989. And right now, out of the 34 judges of the Supreme Court, 4 judges are female judges. And in what could be the first for India, one of those 4 judges, that is Honorable Justice B.V. Nagaratna, who is known for her ferocious judgments and very foresighted judgments. She is going to become India's first female Chief Justice in 2027. if all the elevations and the seniority, keeps going in a usual manner, if no such surprise, comes in between, then she is most likely to become the Chief Justice of India in 2027. So next is this news from economy. The Swiggy has become a Decacon. So unicorn is a term that we associate with any company or startup that has crossed $1 billion in valuation. So $1 billion, if you presume the US dollar to be 75 rupees, then it is like 7,500 crore rupees is $1 billion. So Swiggy has become the Decacon, which is a major achievement. So it has crossed $10 billion in valuation, which is about 75,000 crore rupees. And it has left a Zomato far behind, because Zomato's valuation is $5.4 billion before its initial public offering. So it's like Zomato is right now half the size of Swiggy when it comes to market valuation. So we should start ordering more food from Zomato so that they can also pick up their valuation. And in fact, Swiggy has also left behind Oyo, which was the front runner to becoming a Decacon. And the reason for that is pretty simple, because in the last 2 years of the COVID-19, 2019, 20, and 2021, the hotel room bookings have taken a beating, basically, because tourism, hospitality sectors, they were badly crushed during COVID. On the other hand, the food delivery increased manifold. So that is the reason that we are seeing here. And that's why in 2019, it was on the cusp of becoming a Decacon, talking about Oyo. But then its valuation dropped to $8 billion in 2020 due to lesser room occupancy, and it slightly improved to $9 billion in 2021. So for now, Swiggy has taken the cake. It is the first company, which is a recently new startup in the last decade, to become a Decacon. The second, apparently, is Oyo. Let's see whether that happens or not. But for now, it is Swiggy that has taken the lead. And finally, in a sports news, Ladakh team has won the 9th Women National Ice Hockey Championship for 2022, which is expected because Leh has ice throughout the year. So women's team from Ladakh has lifted this Women's Ice Hockey Championship in Himachal Pradesh. It was conducted, and the championship was organized by Ice Hockey Association of India at Kaza area. So Kaza is a very famous tourist destination in the Lahaul Spiti district of Himachal Pradesh. So here, this championship was organized, and a total of 6 teams participated: Delhi, Ladakh, Himachal Pradesh, Chandigarh, Telangana, and the ITBP, the Indo-Tibetan Border Police. And it is the Ladakh team that has taken the award. Right? So, fun fact, ice hockey is the national sport of Canada. So those of you who didn't know, ice hockey is the national sport of Canada. Just like hockey is the national sport of India, ice hockey is the national sport of Canada. So with that, I'll call it off. And I think this session was fruitful to you, these 5 news that were relevant for you. If you have noted it down, that's really well. Otherwise, you can also check our playlist on this very channel of HitBullsEye. We have curated the last 3 months of videos without any breaks. You can go through them. It can also serve as a ready revision for you, because these sessions, we try to keep them not longer than 15 minutes so as to make it as crisp and simple as possible. That is it. My name is Manish Mittal. Thank you so much and take care.